Hi, I'm Angeline. I'm out at 12 Mile Hot Spring out in Nevada near Wells. And I'm in the Western Shoshone tribal region, which borders the Paiute region. And I thought, well, you know, I'm not exactly in the Southwest proper, but I am in Paiute territory, and I thought that I would take a minute to talk about hot springs in general and what hot springs mean to the Pilgrims in the Southern Paiute tradition. Hot springs, as we all know, they have these medicinal properties. The water that falls from the sky percolates down through the ground in places with seismic activity, where there's faults, volcanic activity, geothermal activity, you know, that is accessible from the surface. So they percolate down, and on the way down they pick up lots of minerals like sulfur and things like this. And then when they hit a place where the Earth's heat energy pushes up, it pushes up quickly as it gets close to the Earth's magma. As the water gets close to the magma layer, the forces of steam and the heat push it up quickly through the crust, and so it comes out hot and fast, containing all those elements that the water gathered when it was on its way down. So the longer the journey the water has to take from the magma through the crust to the surface, the cooler the water is when it reaches the surface. The faster it goes, the hotter the water will be. So if you're in a hot spring that has a variety of temperatures, oh, I'm sorry about the wind. I know I actually have wind protection gear, but I never have it with me at the right time. So I hope you can hear me okay. I'm sorry, I'm going to try to block the wind here with my hand a little bit. We'll see if that does anything for us. Okay, so because of these mineral properties that the water carries, when we soak in it, it permeates our skin and replaces and renourishes minerals that we actually don't get through our diet. In fact, when I was down at the Huichol Hot Springs one time down by the Mexico-California border, I spoke to a man who was stationed down there during the California fires. He was a firefighter, and he was sent there from another state to stay down there in that region. Oh, this wind, I'm so sorry. And he said that, you know, he's kind of overweight, and he said that he'd been there for 2 weeks. And those 2 weeks, he had waited for a second for that wind to pass, and I'm holding up a little shield here. I hope that helps with the sound. Anyway, this man down in Huichol said that he'd been there for 2 weeks, and he had his blood pressure had dropped, and his diabetes, he stopped taking some of his diabetes medication because he was practically cured in about 2 weeks. And I said, well, what do you know of this? He says, well, what I learned is that in our diet, we're deprived of a lot of natural minerals because we don't eat from the land like we may have once, you know, prehistorically. And so our body's deprived of a lot of minerals. So going to a hot springs, we can absorb those minerals again, and our body falls back into balance. And that's what happened to this guy. So the Southern Paiute use hot springs on a pilgrimage trek, and along the pilgrimage there are different places where the power seekers, they're called, the puhafigans. Puha is power, and so a pilgrim is going to visit a power place where they can commune with the stronger forces to either bring that power into themselves, bring that power back to the village, or just learn from the power. For example, a high mountain peak where the snow gathers, that would be a mountain peak. That it's a power place because it's where the essential snow is attracted to be. It's concentrated there, and from there it disperses all down the mountain to all the places where the people are, and so they can use it. So it's a power place because the power is concentrated at the top of that mountain. So a power place that a pilgrim may go would be to a mountain peak. So there's certain places you go along the trail, they would stop along the trail to prepare for this final culmination at the power place. So one of those places would be a hot springs, where you can ceremonially cleanse yourself. And cleansing by the body, yes, but also cleansing by the mineral and the healing sources. You're actually cleansing the inside of your body as well as the outside of your body. And Philosophically, there's a meaning to it as well. In the Paiute culture and the Uto-Aztecan world in general. Oh, here comes that wind again. We're gonna soldier on, because between other people who are here at the hot springs and their loud trucks and the wind, there's not going to be perfection of sound in this anyway, so I'll just get on with the topic. So Uto-Aztecan world, there are three realms. There's the heavenly realm, the upper world, that's where, you know, high supernatural beings exist. Probably you could look at as sky people, as the maybe even the Milky Way, things like that. The heavenly realm of spirits or gods or powers or energies or things sort of beyond our comprehension, right? And then we have our earthly plane, that's the middle world, that's where we live, the material world. And then we have the underworld, where there's kind of like scary-ish flavored spirits and dark reptilian jaguar-like creatures and things like that. It's also the realm through which you must pass when you die. You have to pass through some of these underworld realms before you reach your final resting place. I guess it's something like the river of Styx kind of idea. The powerful inner world, underworld forces are things like volcanoes. A volcano erupting is the earth's, the spirit and the power within the earth pushing its way into our world. So that's a very powerful, I don't even know how to express the momentousness of how this is in a spiritual context. You know, it's like being touched by creation, right? And then so to feel the water that has been down there and coming up, and to put that on and in your body, making a medicinal teas out of it, drinking it, it's a way to absorb some of that power and commune with those forces. So that is what a ritual purification would include at a hot springs on a pilgrimage trail. It's not just merely a place to stop and bathe, it's a place to, it's another step along the power path. And power, I don't mean it in our Western sense, like, you know, control. I mean it in the sense of natural forces lending themselves to our humble bodies, these tiny little fragile skin suits that only can even survive in this narrow band of earth where the temperature is just so. You know, we're so fragile, we're at the mercy of everything around us. I mean, if the temperature drops too low, we die. If the temperature gets too hot, we die. If we don't have enough water, we die. If we don't get the right nourishment, we die. Everything makes us die. We are so fragile, but nothing kills the earth. I mean, man could destroy everything about nature, and the planet will be here, and it'll just reiterate itself in every kind of way. And this is completely recognized by those who live in animistic societies where where everything in nature has a power of its own, and in a lot of ways has powers that we would like to borrow in order to succeed at surviving. So something like the power of a hot springs is important when you're on a trip to visit more powerful places where we see them as necessary in order to even survive, like a mountain peak with snow on it. There's no life on the plains where the animals and peoples are without a mountain full of snow to give the water down there for everybody to live. So that place holds our life in its hand. So traveling to that power place is a practice of respect, and to ask it to share, teach some of its power to us so that we can improve the lives of our people is a noble process, and it's ceremonial, and it's sacred is what I'm trying to think of. So ritually cleansing yourself at a hot spring is a sacred practice involving medicinal teas made with that water, cleansing your body in it and letting it absorb into your skin, and, you know, washing your body of impurities in general. In fact, steaming your body is steaming the impurities out of your body through the help of that hot water. If you really stop and think about all the elements that process through your body when you're interacting with a hot spring, it's pretty spectacular how many there are. So I'll leave you with that to kind of meditate upon all the ways that your body metabolizes being in with and consuming a hot spring full of nourishing minerals that were brought to us from the power inside the earth. Oh, and I mean, usually they're combined with water that's coming from that snowy mountain peak. And so it's like the underworld is meeting the heavenly world, the upper world, at the middle world at a hot spring. Because the water from the rain, the upper world rain, is mixing with the underworld water. You see? So it's just, I mean, here, look at me geeking out. But you will too. I mean, if you really start to think about it in these ways, a hot spring's more than just warm water. It is so much more than just warm water. And if you lend a little bit of reverence to the contemplation of what it is, it really will bring joy to you, I think, to think about it that way. I'll leave you with that. Thanks for listening. I hope you got something out of it. Please visit the Facebook group, Ancient Southwest, to see more videos like this, more videos that are not like this, trips that other people take, and videos and photos of their trips. And also go to theancientsouthwest.com for much more that aren't just videos, but photos and writings and things like that. Okay, I hope you have a wonderful day, and may the fire inside you continue to burn brightly.